There is something special about tonight's sunset. You've seen countless sunsets in Atlantis, and each has been lovely. But this one feels unique, magnified in its splendor. The colors are richer, the light more crystalline. Even the air has a celebratory hush to it. You glance around and see that others feel it too. Tears glint in the eyes of the old man by the railing, though he is smiling. The mother with the infant softly hums a lullaby, and you sense gratitude pouring from her heart, filling the silence with warmth. High above, the first stars begin to peek out, shy pinpoints in the dimming sky. And then, a subtle miracle. As the sun's last edge dips below the horizon, a gentle aurora shimmers into being. Curtains of ethereal light, soft greens and blues, unfurl overhead, dancing slowly. Gasps of awe echo quietly through the terrace, including your own whisper of, "Oh." Aurorae are rare this far south. This is a gift from the heavens. The wavering lights reflect in wide eyes and in the water below, draping Atlantis in an otherworldly glow. You feel a tingling along your skin as you stand bathed in twilight and aurora. There's a hint of coolness in the air now, a prelude to evening's arrival. You pull in a deep breath. It feels as if the sky is singing a gentle song of change, one only the soul can hear. In that song, there is beauty, but also a touch of sadness, like the last notes of a beloved tune. You realize you're witnessing a farewell of sorts, the day's final performance, given extra grace as if aware that Atlantis cherishes every ray. Behind you in the city, lights begin to twinkle as lamps and crystals respond to the dimming light. Yet here on the terrace, none of that distracts you. Your focus is wholly on the sky's transformation. The sun is gone now, leaving behind a tapestry of deep cobalt and lingering gold at the edges. The aurora's gentle ribbons continue to ripple, slowly fading as full night approaches. A single star, brighter than the rest, flickers directly above the horizon where the sun vanished. It winks like a knowing eye. For a long moment, you and everyone on the terrace remains. You wipe a single tear from your cheek that you hadn't realized escaped. It's not a tear of sorrow exactly, but of deep emotion, a mix of gratitude, poignancy, and reverence. The sky has changed, and with it, something in your heart has shifted too. In the fading light, you silently thank the heavens for this gift. Though night is coming, you know the memory of this sunset will glow inside you for a long, long time. With the first stars now shining in earnest, you turn gently back toward the city, carrying the colors of the sky within you as you step forward into the dusk. Night has gently settled over Atlantis, and you move through the familiar lanes on your way back from the terrace. In the wake of that breathtaking sunset, you find your senses heightened. The air now is cool against your skin, raising a delicate goose flesh on your arms. As you rub them lightly, an old memory rises of a time long ago when you were a child, standing on this same spot with a similar chill on your skin. Your body remembers the way home instinctively. Your feet tread a path they have taken thousands of times, each step almost echoing the steps of your younger self. The stones underfoot have subtle dips and curves, worn smooth by years of footsteps, including your own small feet when you once skipped along these paths, chasing after friends at twilight. Even now, as an adult, you can feel that youthful energy lingering in your muscles, as if your legs recall the joy of running freely in the safe dusk of Atlantis. You pass by a cluster of night-blooming lotus flowers floating in a canal. Their petals have unfurled under the moonlight, glowing faintly with a pale blue luminescence. A breeze carries their sweet, powdery fragrance to you. The scent triggers a warm recollection in your body. It was the same fragrance that clung to your hair and clothes after your first midsummer festival years ago. You remember dancing in this plaza under a full moon, twirling with garlands of those lotus blossoms around your wrists. Tonight, as the fragrance envelops you, your arms almost feel the phantom weight of those garlands again, and your feet give a tiny, unconscious twirl. The muscle memory of joy. Your heart, too, holds its own memories. It beats steadily now, but each beat seems to resonate with a timeline of feelings. As you walk, you find yourself touching the pendant that hangs. It reminds you that right here, right now, you are living this moment fully, and that all moments, past and present, live on inside you. A gentle ache in your shoulders makes itself known as you roll them. It's the pleasant tiredness of a day well spent. That sensation brings to mind evenings after long days of learning and working alongside your mentors. You recall how you'd sit by the hearth, a curious Atlantean hearth fueled by glowing crystals rather than fire, and feel just this sort of fatigue, not painful, but earned. Your muscles seem to carry the memory of every garden you've tended, every stone you've lifted, every embrace you've given and received. And as if responding to your thoughts, your body relaxes into that ache, recognizing it as a friend. We have done so much, you and I, it seems to say. We have lived. Under the soft illumination of the city's night lamps, you continue onward. Each lamp you pass hums quietly, and you recall how, as a teenager, you once pressed your ear to one of them to listen. The vibration lulled you on restless nights when you'd sneak out of bed to wander. Standing under one now, you close your eyes and listen again. Yes, there is that same gentle hum, matching the subtle vibration in your bones. It's as if your body and the city share a common frequency, attuned after all these years. The familiarity is comforting beyond words. Your body holds the memory of Atlantis in every sense. The taste of salt on your lips brings back the laughter of swimming in the surf. The sight of the twin moons low on the horizon, one full and golden, the other a slender crescent, reminds your hands of the time you reached out to point them out to a dear friend beside you. The sound of distant whale song echoing through the night water rumbles in your chest, and you recall how it soothed you to sleep in your childhood bed. Each sensation tonight is layered with countless yesterdays. By the time you reach the narrow footbridge that leads you toward home, you feel almost as if you're walking in two times at once, the present and the past intertwined. Your body walks now in this final twilight of Atlantis, but it also walks in memories. Every step a bridge between what was and what is. Far off, lightning flickers at the horizon, perhaps heat lightning or a distant storm over the sea. And for an instant, the scene illuminates bright as day. In that flash, you see yourself as a child again, racing across this same bridge, and simultaneously as you are now, hand on the rail, heart full and steady. Then the light is gone and you are just you, taking the last few steps over the bridge. You honor all that your body remembers. The day's experiences have awakened these gentle ghosts of memory, not to haunt you, but to comfort. They live in your very breath and heartbeat. As you step off the bridge, nearing your home, you carry not only the events of today, but the living library of sensations from a life well loved in Atlantis. Your body, this faithful vessel, has been with you through it all, and it will carry these memories onward into the night. Later that evening, Atlantis gathers itself as one living community. Drawn by an unspoken impulse, many of the city's inhabitants gravitate toward the Grand Temple Plaza or step out onto their balconies and courtyards. You find yourself among those walking quietly to the central square, lanterns in hand. Wordlessly, people arrange themselves in concentric circles around the great crystal obelisk that stands before the temple, a tradition that happens on special nights. Tonight, it seems every soul in Atlantis felt the same gentle tug to be together. The plaza is illuminated by a soft glow from the ground up. Bioluminescent moss lines the pathways, and each person carries a small, floating orb light that hovers near them like a firefly. The collective effect is a sea of twinkling stars at human height, mirroring the true stars overhead. The twin moons cast their silver and gold light, bathing the assembly in a holy sort of radiance. No one speaks aloud. There is no need. As you step into the outer circle and take your place, you close your eyes for a moment and tune inwards. Immediately, you feel it. The pulse of the people. The unified heartbeat of Atlantis. It starts as a quiet thrum in your mind, then grows stronger, clearer. It is the melding of hundreds, thousands of gentle voices into one harmonious chorus. The feeling is overwhelming in the best way, like being wrapped in an invisible embrace made of pure emotion. In this bond, individual thoughts blend into a shared current. You sense waves of gratitude flowing from mind to mind, gratitude for the day that has passed, for the beauty witnessed, for each other's presence. There are notes of pride and protectiveness, love for Atlantis itself, like the love one holds for a dear family member. Underlying all is a profound serenity, a calm acceptance of life as it is at this very moment. Your own emotions rise to join the collective. You think of the events of the day, the tranquil morning, the playful encounters, the stunning sunset. You feel the joyful innocence of a child chasing luminescent butterflies at the plaza's edge. the tender devotion of an elderly couple standing arm in arm near the obelisk, the earnest hope of a young scholar praying quietly for Atlantis to prosper, the quiet resolution of the city's leaders standing at the front, their heads bowed together. All these emotions flow through you as if they were your own, and in a way, they are. In this union, there is no barrier between one heart and another. Someone, perhaps the high priestess of the temple, begins a slow rhythmic chant in an ancient Atlantean tongue. Her voice is low and melodic, hardly above a whisper, yet it carries through the night air as if amplified by everyone's attention. The chant is a blessing, an acknowledgement of the life force connecting every being here. Though you might not speak these archaic words in daily life, you know them in your soul. Your lips move silently in time, and so do those of your neighbors. The meaning is clear without translation. We are one. We are at peace. We are grateful. As the chant continues, you feel the pulse intensify. It's as if the entire city takes a synchronized breath in, then out. A wave of warmth courses through the crowd, perhaps emanating from the crystal obelisk, which now glows brighter, resonating with the unified energy. The obelisk's light pulses gently, matching the slow heartbeat you all share. It bathes everyone in a gentle golden hue, healing and comforting. Tears slip down many faces, including your own. But they are soft tears, born not of fear, but of profound connection and acceptance. You feel your hand find the hand of the person next to you, and though your eyes are still closed, you know others have done the same. The touch is reassuring, solidifying the bond that already exists in mind and spirit. Someone squeezes your fingers lightly, a gesture that says we're in this together. For a timeless span, you all remain like this, breathing as one, hearts aligned, the chant weaving through the night. The city itself seems to hum along. If the buildings and canals could speak, they would say they feel loved right now. Atlantis, in this moment, is not just a place. It is the collective soul of its people, shining bright and unified. The crowd begins to disperse, tranquil and united. As you depart the plaza, you carry with you the echo of that communal pulse. It still thumps gently in your awareness, like the lingering resonance of a bell long after it's been struck. The pulse of the people, of your people, reassures you that you are never alone. In the deep of the Atlantis night, every heart beats together, and that simple, miraculous truth lights the way as you move forward. Not long after the gathering, as people drift away to their homes or linger in quiet conversation, something begins to shift in Atlantis. At first, it's subtle, a change in the air pressure that makes your ears ache for a brief moment, and a hush from the night creatures, the crickets, and night birds fall silent. You stop on the pathway home and look around. Others nearby have paused too, heads tilted, as if listening to an invisible signal. Then it comes, a deep, resonant sound from beneath the city. Not a sharp quake like a tremor, but a long, low vibration. The streets tremble underfoot in a slow rhythm, like a giant stirring from slumber far below. Lamps flicker. Water in the canals sloshes over the edges gently, spilling onto walkways. The crystal obelisk in the plaza emits a single, clear tone, a bell-like note that echoes through the night. It's as if Atlantis itself is sounding an alarm, yet the tone is oddly soothing. Your heart pounds, but you find that it is in synchrony with that deep vibration. Strange as this moment is, a sense of recognition blooms within you. This is new and unprecedented, and yet you have heard of this in stories and dreams. You remember sitting on your grandmother's lap as she whispered the old legend of Atlantis's fate. How, one day, the ocean would gently claim the city, and how the people would not fight it, but become one with the sea. As a child, that story felt like a fairy tale, abstract and far off. Standing here now, feeling the ground hum and the waters rise ever so slightly, you realize that myth and reality are dovetailing. The familiarity of it calms you against all logic. Around you, the Atlanteans react not with panic, but with a kind of reverent wonder. A series of soft blue lights suddenly illuminates along the canals, emergency beacons that have never been lit in living memory. They cast a gentle glow on the moving water, revealing that the tides are indeed rising. The ocean is flowing into Atlantis more freely now. Yet it is no raging flood. Rather, the water is creeping in like an evening tide, pooling in low-lying gardens, spreading across plazas and shining sheets. You lift your hem slightly as a shallow film of water swirls around your ankles. The touch of the sea on your skin sends a shock of emotion through you, a mixture of sadness and awe. But it's warm, almost caressing. The ocean is not an enemy. It feels like an old friend returning. Above, the sky remains clear. The stars seem to burn brighter, as if watching intently. The larger of the twin moons has a halo around it now, a silver ring that you've never seen before. Perhaps it's a natural effect of moisture in the air, or perhaps something more mystical. Either way, it captivates you. That luminous ring feels like a sign, another element you recognize from ancient murals or texts describing the final night of Atlantis. The moon will wear a crown of light, they said, and here it is. You take a deep breath and feel a mix of fear and acceptance settle in your bones. Something shifts under the city again, and this time, you hear the distant sound of stone against stone, a soft groan, as if the very foundations are moving. It is a strange sound, one that makes your heart squeeze. Atlantis is moving. Not violently, but inevitably. In your mind's eye, you picture the grand island city slowly descending, like a ship easing into the sea. An unexpected memory surges. You recall practicing diving as a child, the feeling of letting yourself sink into a pool, trusting the water to hold you. That sensation floods back now, projected on a citywide scale. It feels oddly similar. Strange yet familiar. People begin to sing. It starts with one voice, the same high priestess perhaps, or an elder man, it's hard to tell, rising in a steady, soothing melody that carries no words, only tones. Others join, including yourself. It's an instinctive response as old as time. To sing, to quell fear, to sing, to accompany souls on a journey. The melody is one you know, a lullaby often hummed to children on restless nights. The fact that it surfaces now draws.
It's as if every element of the city knows the choreography. The stone yields gradually. The water rises gracefully. The people hold firmly to one another's spirits. You catch sight of silvery shapes darting through the flooded streets ahead. Dolphins or large fish, weaving through the new waterways, as if invited. The wildlife of the sea joins this final act, their presence oddly reassuring, like ushers guiding an audience. Your senses absorb everything in heightened detail. The taste of salt on your lips grows stronger. The scent of ocean deepens. The glowing moss under the water casts wavy patterns of light on everyone's faces. There's fear, yes. Your body trembles slightly, adrenaline coursing. But above all, there is a profound familiarity, as though you've done this before, in a dream, as though Atlantis itself has rehearsed this finale in the hearts of its people across generations. With that thought, you surrender to the moment. Whatever comes next, however strange, you trust it is the fulfillment of a destiny long woven into the fabric of this magical city. And in that trust, you find tranquility amid the upheaval, the known within the unknown. Dusk deepens into true night as Atlantis surrenders itself to the sea. The once dry pathways are now streams. The plazas are shallow lakes reflecting the starry sky. All around you, water rises steadily, reaching waist height and higher. The Atlanteans, still linked by unity and song, help one another to higher ground where possible, onto balconies, rooftops, and the steps of the grand temple. But even those high places will soon be claimed by the ocean's gentle flood. Everyone knows this, and still there is remarkable calm. You stand upon the temple steps, water swirling around your chest. The ancient crystal doors of the temple are open behind you, and many have gathered inside the great hall, whose interior now glows with a soothing light. Some remain outside with you, forming a circle on the broad steps as the water laps at your shoulders. Your clothing billows in the currents. You grip the hand of a friend on one side and an elder on the other. None of you speak.
The song that arose continues, but softer now, more like a lullaby than a hymn. Many voices have grown tired or fallen silent as their owners focus inward. You hum quietly, cradled by the warm water. The ocean feels surprisingly kind against your skin, like a warm bath drawn by caring hands. You tilt your head back to keep your face in the air as long as possible, and you see the night sky one last time in all its glory. The twin moons, one above the other, shine down with gentle light. Stars crowd the heavens. You notice that the constellations form shapes you recognize from Atlantean lore. There is the dolphin, the crystal rose, the great wave. It's as if the cosmos itself is watching over this solemn descent. One by one, the voices around you hush, not out of panic, but as in falling asleep. Some Atlanteans close their eyes, their lips still curved in peaceful smiles, and slip below the surface voluntarily, trusting the water to hold them. Others remain until the water reaches their chins, looking up at the sky or holding their loved ones close. You find yourself in no rush to let go of the air or the sight of the stars, but neither do you cling to them with despair. When a wave splashes gently over your face, you cough lightly and then laugh, a short, genuine laugh of surprise. Imagine laughing at a time like this, you think, but it feels right. It cuts through any tension, and a few around you chuckle softly too, a tiny bubble of mirth rising in the depths of this profound moment, a final touch of humor amid the gravitas. The elder beside you squeezes your hand and gives you a nod of encouragement. You realize you've seen her many times at the gardens. She taught you how to tend the moon water lilies. Her eyes, now just above the waterline, convey infinite pride in you and all the young ones. In that instant, you feel like a child again, safe and cherished. She mouths something silently, perhaps a blessing or goodbye, you're not sure, but the meaning reaches you through the heart. All will be well. At last, the time comes to surrender completely. The final breath of air is thin. The waterline kisses your cheeks. You inhale as deeply as you can, capturing the cool night air and the scent of salt and lotus one last time. Then, with a calm exhale, you allow the ocean to close over you. The surface of the water, which moments ago reflected the moons, now shimmers above your head like a wavering mirror. You open your eyes in the underwater dimness. The world is blurry but strangely beautiful. Atlanteans around you drift in the water like blossoms on the breeze. Some have a peaceful silence envelops Atlantis as evening fully descends into night and water. The city, now mostly submerged, has never been so quiet. The usual sounds of footsteps and chatter are replaced by the muted hush of the sea. Your own heartbeat sounds loud in your ears, slow, steady. You realize with mild surprise that you are not desperately scrambling for breath. Instead, there is a profound sense of release. In this submerged silence, it's as if Atlantis itself, her people, her buildings, her spirit, has finally come to rest. There is no struggle, only acceptance. Weightlessness cradles you. You feel like a child rocking in a cradle as the ocean gently sways everyone. In the distance, you see the top of the grand temple's spire still above water, its crystal apex gleaming under the moonlight. But even that beacon gently slips under the surface as you watch. Bubbles ascend around it in shimmering streams, carrying with them the last whispers of a civilization above the waves. When the tip finally disappears, you feel a soft pop in your chest, a mix of heartbreak and liberation. Atlantis has completely submerged, crossing fully into legend. Yet in this moment, you also sense that Atlantis is not gone. It lives on in each of you who shared this day. In the darkness underwater, you feel a collective presence. The same unity from before, but quieter now, like a collective dream. Perhaps this is what becoming one with the sea means: to carry Atlantis in your hearts as you drift into the next chapter, whatever that may be. Evening has truly descended. The city of Atlantis sleeps beneath the gentle blanket of the ocean. In the calm after the descent, all is still. Through the crystal clear water, the moonlight penetrates, casting a faint glow on the now silent structures. You realize that the quiet pulse of Atlantis, that gentle heartbeat of a beloved world, is still with you. It has merged with your own heartbeat. As you lie here now, you can feel it, slow and steady like waves upon the shore. It is the rhythm of all the comforting moments you've witnessed, all the kindness and wonder. This rhythm will stay with you, a souvenir from the ocean of dreams. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the weight of your body sink into the softness beneath you, as if you are floating on warm water. On your exhale, let go of any remaining tension. In this story, Atlantis has gently fallen asleep, and so too are you invited to drift into your own deep, restorative sleep. The magic and love you experienced remain in your heart, where they will keep you safe and warm through the night. All around, the world is quiet now. Imagine the starlight filtering down through calm waters, reaching you with its silver touch. Imagine the hush of the ocean, the way it muffles every sound into a lullaby just for you. In this serenity, your breath is the only thing you need to pay attention to, in and out, slow and easy. Each breath carries you further away from the day's worries, further into a tranquil dream. You have walked the streets of myth and memory, and now it is time to rest. Atlantis bids you good night in its own silent way, a flicker of a friendly light, a whisper across the water. You carry that good night within you as your eyelids grow heavy. There is no more need to hold on to wakefulness. You have seen and felt so much beauty. Now it is simply time to let it settle and soothe you. Trust that you are held just as Atlantis was held by the sea. Trust that you are cherished, just as every soul in Atlantis was cherished by one another. In this trust, you can let yourself sink into sleep, safe and sound. As you hover on the edge of dreams, perhaps you catch the faint echo of that Atlantean lullaby, the melody of unity and peace. It might mingle with your breathing, with the beating of your heart. Let it lull you completely. Now, the last lights have dimmed, and the story's voice grows quiet. Atlantis drifts into the realm of dreams, and you drift along with it. In this gentle darkness, there is only comfort, only warmth, only the soft embrace of night. You close your eyes and take a slow, gentle breath. In the darkness behind your eyelids, shapes begin to form. Soft colors of blue and green, swirling like water. Gold and pink glimmers like a distant sunrise. The world around you grows quiet, and you feel the weight of the day melting away. Let yourself drift, as though carried by a warm ocean current, far from any worries. In this peaceful moment, you are safe, you are calm, and a voice as soft as a whisper guides you onward. The sound of distant waves echoes in your mind, unhurried and steady. Tension eases from your body with each soft breath. In this stillness, a vision begins to take shape. A glow on the horizon of your thoughts, like the first light of dawn over endless water. You sense a grand, ancient presence welcoming you. It is the gentle call of a mythical city beneath the waves, inviting you to visit once more. Here, in the cradle of your imagination, you drift toward that hidden world. An expanse of calm ocean spreads out before you, starlight dancing on its surface. Far below, something shimmers. You descend effortlessly, enveloped in a silvery blue light, sinking deeper into serenity. There is no rush, only the gradual unveiling of an underwater wonderland. Soon, shapes emerge through the water, tall spires and flowing arches, sculpted in crystal, illuminated from within by a soft luminescence. A gentle warmth
fills your heart as you recognize this place of legend. Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis, is awakening around you. You feel no fear, only curiosity and comfort, as if you have come home after a long journey. The water itself seems to cradle you, guiding you toward a quiet shore. Allow yourself to arrive in Atlantis, the ancient ocean realm of dreams. There are no blaring alarms or loud voices to rouse you here. Atlantis awakens with a telepathic hush, a collective calm thought that morning has arrived. In the back of your mind, you feel a soft greeting from the city and its people, a wordless welcome that drifts through you like a sigh. Your room is aglow with morning. Through a round crystalline window, you see rays of sunlight filtering down from the ocean surface far above, scattering into a spectrum of colors. Tiny motes of dust, or perhaps plankton, flicker in those rays, turning the light into living speckles that dance on the walls. The walls themselves are carved from pale iridescent stone, etched with flowing patterns that resemble coral and waves. As you watch, a small school of silvery fish glides past the window, their bodies catching the light and leaving shimmering trails. One of them pauses and peeks curiously through the glass before darting away, and you can't help but smile at the simple wonder of it. You stretch your limbs slowly, feeling a pleasant ache as your muscles wake up. The air in your room is fresh and mild, with a hint of salt and something sweet, perhaps the fragrance of an underwater lotus blooming in a nearby garden. Each inhale is soothing, filling your lungs with the essence of sea breeze and ancient tranquility. You feel refreshed and whole, as though the very atmosphere of Atlantis has healed any lingering weariness in you overnight. Lying here, you sense a quiet excitement within you. It's a new day, and not just any day. There's a subtle tingling in your fingertips, an intuition that this day holds something special. It's a gentle knowing that you can't quite put into words, as if an old memory is brushing against your consciousness. But for now, you let that feeling be, content to simply be present. Wrapped in comfort, you listen to your own steady heartbeat and the distant hush of the ocean beyond. This is how morning begins in Atlantis, soft, slow, and full of promise. You sit up slowly and take in the room around you. The space is circular and airy, like the inside of a nautilus shell, with a high dome ceiling that glimmers with mother-of-pearl hues. The morning light plays upon the walls, revealing murals of ancient ocean life etched into the surface. Schools of engraved fish and whales seem to swim in the pearly stone when the light moves, creating the illusion that your room is alive with gentle motion. In the center of the room, a slender column of water flows from floor to ceiling, a living pillar that provides both light and a calming sound. The water in the column glows softly from within, lit by bioluminescent. It hovers just above the ground, swaying almost imperceptibly as you move. Beside it, a small nightstand carved from translucent crystal likewise floats in place, holding a few personal treasures. You reach out and pick up a smooth conch shell from the stand. Its surface is pale pink and cream, worn by time. As you hold it to your ear out of habit, a faint echo of the ocean hums within.
This shell is a keepsake from your childhood, a reminder of the first time you explored the shallow reefs around Atlantis with your parents. The memory brings a gentle smile to your face. All around, the room is filled with thoughtful details that make it feel like home. A driftwood-framed mirror leans against one curved wall, its surface polished to a high sheen. Hanging above it is a delicate mobile of seashells and glass orbs turning slowly in mid-air with no string, another small wonder of Atlantean craft. Each orb contains a tiny droplet of captured sunlight that glints as it spins. Across the room, a low table levitates just inches above the coral-tiled floor, upon which rests an open journal made of pressed kelp pages. The Atlantean script on those pages glows faintly, notes from yesterday's reflections perhaps, waiting for you to add more when the time is right. A gentle chime draws your attention. In one alcove of the room, a cluster of crystals set into the wall emits a soft tinkling sound. Your morning greeting from the city's heart. The crystals, attuned to the consciousness of Atlantis, shimmer in hello. It's as if the city itself is saying good morning to you. You chuckle softly, feeling a warmth in your chest. Even the architecture here is alive and welcoming. By the doorway, a translucent curtain of water forms the threshold to the rest of your home. It is perfectly still now, a glassy sheet that keeps your chamber private. Beyond it lies a hint of the greater city, a glimmer of turquoise light and the suggestion of open space. But within these walls, in the comfort of your room, you feel an intimate peace. Every object, every ripple of light is familiar and kind. You take a moment to appreciate it all, the artistry, the serenity, the sense that this place has loved you and kept you safe for so long. This morning, like so many before, your room is a sanctuary of calm, a small world of your own, nestled inside the greater wonder of Atlantis. Barefoot, you slide off the bed and your first task is simple. Refresh yourself. Stepping toward the door, you pass through the curtain of water that serves as your door. It parts silently at your approach, allowing you to walk through without a drop clinging to your skin. The moment you're on the other side, the curtain reforms behind you, restoring the privacy of your sleeping chamber. You enter a small atrium bathed in soft daylight. At its center is a shallow pool of crystalline water, part of your dwelling's design. Kneeling by the pool, you dip your hands in. The water is pleasantly warm, likely heated by geothermal currents that run beneath the city. You splash a little on your face and over your arms, a morning ablution that leaves your skin tingling and awake. As the droplets fall back, they shimmer, carrying away any last traces of sleep. You run wet fingers through your hair, smoothing it back. Instantly, the water in your hair evaporates in tiny glowing vapors, a gentle technological convenience built into the pool to help one dry off without fuss. You chuckle as the warm mist swirls around you briefly before disappearing. Each morning, this simple ritual feels a bit magical, even though it's as ordinary as can be for an Atlantean. Refreshed, you pad over to a curved countertop grown seamlessly from the wall, your kitchen nook. There is a bowl of fresh fruit waiting, delivered earlier by a thoughtful neighbor, or perhaps by a mild telekinetic breeze that the city uses for errands. The fruits are unlike any above the waves. plump orbs that glisten with hues of teal and amber. You take one, a sea berry, and bite gently. Its juices are sweet with a hint of salt, tasting like mango crossed with a drop of ocean water. It's both strange and familiar, a flavor of home. You savor it slowly, letting the nourishment energize you. Next to the fruit bowl sits a translucent teapot, already warmed by the morning sun. Inside, leaves of sea mint and petals of some aquatic flowers steep in hot water. The steam that rises carries a soothing herbal scent. You pour yourself a cup of this fragrant tea into a cup made of polished abalone shell. Cradling it in your hands, you inhale deeply. The scent is invigorating, clearing your mind. You take small sips, enjoying how the warmth spreads through your chest. As you nibble and sip, your thoughts wander gently. Usually, you might plan your tasks for the day, perhaps tending to the communal gardens or visiting the Library of Memories, where Atlantean knowledge is kept. But today, your mind stays quiet, content to simply be. Through an open archway leading outside, a mild breeze ripples the gauzy curtains. It carries with it the faint sound of distant waves and a trace of music.
You close your eyes and sense it. A gentle chorus of kindness. Everyone silently wishing each other a good day. It's as tangible as a warm hug and as light as a feather floating on water. Leaning in the doorway to your balcony, you gaze out while finishing your tea. In the distance, you catch sight of a few residents drifting by, a couple riding a levitating platform shaped like a manta ray, gliding slowly over the coral streets, and an elder floating in a bubble of water, moving along at a leisurely pace. These peaceful morning scenes bring a smile to your face. Nothing here is rushed. Life in Atlantis is an unhurried dance, and each morning feels like a graceful opening to the day. With your cup empty and your body awake, you feel a wave of contentment. The simple acts of washing, eating, and greeting the day have grounded you. The sweet aftertaste of the sea berry lingers, and the soft buzz of sea mint tea warms your belly. You are ready now to step fully into the day. Whatever it brings, you trust it will flow as gently as everything has this morning. After all, Atlantis herself seems to be smiling, and you can't help but smile with her as you set your cup down and prepare to venture beyond your threshold. Stepping fully out onto your balcony, you fill your lungs with the fresh morning air. The city sprawls out before you in glittering splendor, a mosaic of canals and crystalline structures shining under the rising sun. You take a moment to absorb the sight. Graceful bridges arch over water avenues, and gentle cascades spill from one tier of the city to another, like liquid glass. In the distance, you see the grand temple spire catching the sunlight, sending rainbow prisms dancing across the sky. Everything seems perfectly at peace. Then, just as you are about to turn and head down to the street, something unusual happens. A shadow passes overhead, dimming the light for a heartbeat. You pause, glancing upward, perhaps a rare cloud drifting across the sun. Clouds are uncommon here. Atlantis has enjoyed fair weather for as long as you can remember, but not impossible. The warmth returns a moment later as the light restores, and you chide yourself for being startled by something so small. But the momentary shadow leaves you with a faint unease, a feeling that something is different today. As if to answer that thought, a subtle tremor suddenly ripples through the ground beneath you. It's very gentle, just a soft shake, as though the earth cleared its throat. Your teacup on the balcony ledge rattles lightly against its saucer. Startled, you steady it with your hand.
The tremor passes as quickly as it came. The city falls silent. Even the ever-present hum of Atlantis seems to hold its breath. You notice a few birds, white gull-like creatures that nest along the city's outer terraces, taking flight in a startled flutter from a nearby rooftop. In the canal below, the water rings out in concentric ripples, distorting the reflections of the buildings. A pair of nearby Atlanteans, who had been gliding along on a floating platform, pause and look at each other with mild concern. One places a reassuring hand on the other's arm. There is no panic, just a shared moment of acknowledgement. That was odd. Your heart beats a touch faster, but you close your eyes and inhale deeply to calm yourself. Small tremors are not entirely unheard of in Atlantis, though they are rare. The city rests on the cradle of an ancient ocean, and sometimes the seabed shifts as gently as a sleeping giant might stir. Usually, it's nothing to worry about. You tell yourself this, and the tension in your shoulders eases. Still, you can't shake the sense that this was more than the earth stretching its limbs. All around you, life resumes. The birds resettle. The distant sounds of activity start up again. A faint laugh from somewhere. The splash of a dive into a canal. The echo of a conch horn signaling the opening of the market. Atlantis breathes once more, as if the city decided everything is fine. You lean on the balcony rail, hands gripping the cool crystal edge, and take another steady breath. Perhaps it was nothing, just a small disruption in an otherwise perfect day. Before you move on, you notice that the telepathic hush of the city has changed subtly. Where there was peace, there is now a ripple of curiosity passing from mind to mind. Neighbors quietly check in on each other with gentle thought.
Did you feel that? Oh well.
You sense reassurances in return.
Yes, all is well.
The communal mind of Atlantis steadies itself like a pond smoothing after a skipped stone. A hint of concern remains, but it is soft and wrapped in collective comfort. You add your own thought to that weave, an unspoken "we are okay," and feel a warm acknowledgement from those around you. Whatever that tremor was, you descend from your dwelling to the streets below by way of a gently spiraling ramp that coils around a column of flowing water. As you walk, the city opens up around you in all its morning vitality. Atlantis truly breathes, not with smoke or noise, but with the soft sounds of water and life. Each footstep you take is accompanied by the distant trickle of fountains and the hushed whisper of the breeze carrying the scent of salt and blossoms. The street at the base of your home is actually a canal of clear, shallow water, lapping against smooth stone edges.
Some Atlanteans are strolling along the edges of the canal, while others glide directly through the water itself, walking barefoot in the shallows or swimming short distances with languid strokes. You opt to walk along a path of polished stones that seem to float just at water level, stepping from one to the next. With each step, the stones emit a gentle glow under your feet, sensing your presence and lighting your way. The architecture around you rises in elegant forms. Buildings shaped like giant shells and curving spires cluster along the canal, their walls made of crystalline materials that reflect the aqua light. Many structures have open archways and terraces where residents gather, and from them hang banners of fabric so thin and iridescent they could be woven from butterfly wings. These banners sway with the air currents, contributing to the sense that the city itself is alive and sighing contentedly. Overhead, slender bridges arch between buildings, draped with flowering vines that drip with tiny blue blossoms. Some Atlanteans cross these bridges at an unhurried pace, pausing to admire the view. You see a child peeking over a railing to watch fish in the canal below, while a parent gently places a hand on the child's back, sharing in the moment through a knowing smile. The child laughs, an actual sound in this mostly quiet city, and the clear giggle warms your heart. As you continue, you pass by a public square where a circular reflecting pool sits at its center. In that pool, a few dolphins, small and lithe, almost like aquatic dancers, are playing a slow, graceful. Everywhere you look, Atlantis is moving. Gently, not in the frenetic way of a busy city, but in the rhythmic way a body breathes during sleep. A school of rainbow-colored fish darts down one of the narrower canals, turning a corner around a building and vanishing like a gust of confetti. Above, a pair of translucent glider rays, creatures like stingrays but filled with air, float through the sky, their wide fins catching the sunlight as they slowly flap, riding the breeze. The city welcomes all of it, each motion and moment, into a tapestry of serene activity. As you walk, you exchange subtle greetings with those you pass. An elderly neighbor inclines her head, and you receive the faintest echo of her thoughts. A tranquil good day and a feeling of affection. You return the gesture, projecting warmth and respect. Two young siblings sprint by, splashing through the shallow canal with bare feet, and one nearly bumps into you. The older child grabs the younger's hand just in time, and they both pause to give you apologetic smiles, eyes shining. You wave and send a playful wink, and they burst into silent giggles before continuing on their way. The whole exchange happens with barely a sound, yet it feels rich with friendliness. The air itself seems to breathe with you as you pause in the shade of a tall coral sculpture that doubles as a street lamp. The lamp's crystal at the top glows softly even in daylight, attuned to the collective energy of the city. You place a hand on the smooth coral surface and feel a subtle vibration, a sign that the city's life force flows here too. It is as though Atlantis communicates in countless small ways, in vibrations, in light, in the gentle push and pull of water around your ankles. Standing there, you feel connected to it all, part of the living city's breath. The disruption from earlier feels like a distant memory now, as the calm life of Atlantis envelops you. With a grateful heart, you carry on, moving further into the pulse of the city, letting its steady rhythm guide your steps. Time flows differently in Atlantis. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the city eases gracefully from morning into midday. You notice the subtle shift in pace as you wander toward the heart of the city. The gentle bustle of the early hours softens. Activities slow.
At the center of the plaza, a grand fountain bubbles quietly. Water arches upward in elegant streams that weave around each other, forming shapes that resemble swimming dolphins and looping infinity symbols. The fountain's design is attuned to the city's mood, and today its waters move slowly and calmly. A few Atlanteans sit on the fountain's ledges, chatting in low, melodious voices or simply enjoying the cool mist that drifts from the water. One of them has a lyre-like instrument and plucks a few soothing notes that blend with the fountain's murmur. You decide to take a rest here. Finding a spot under a colonnade, you recline on a bench carved from living coral. The coral happily shaped itself over the years to accommodate sitters. The bench cradles you comfortably. As you relax, you feel your heartbeat naturally syncing with a slower rhythm of the surroundings. In the shade, with a light breeze brushing your face, you let your eyes half close. A sense of communal quiet unfolds. Around midday, many residents of Atlantis pause in their work to appreciate a moment of stillness. Some might call it a ritual, but it's not formal or scheduled. It's simply the way of life here. You sense it now. The telepathic chorus of the city settles into a low, harmonious hum. Thoughts of urgency or labor recede. In their place, a wave of collective tranquility spreads, like a gentle tide washing through every mind. It's as if the city itself is meditating. In this shared silence, you allow your mind to drift. You observe the pattern of sunlight filtering through the pergola above you, dappling your hands with shifting light and shadow. You listen to the rhythmic drip of the fountain, each drop falling in time with your breath. Your thoughts wander freely, untethered. Fleeting images pass through. Perhaps memories of childhood afternoons spent by the sea, or the faces of friends dear to you. Each thought surfaces, glows warmly, and then drifts away, like a leaf floating on a pond. At one moment, your gaze follows a tiny creature skittering across the warm tiles near your feet. It's a little crab-like being, turquoise and the size of a coin, carrying a fragment of seaweed. It hurries from one flower pot to another, diligently doing whatever tiny chore it set for itself.
The sight makes you smile. The creature is so small amid the grand plaza, yet it goes about its day with earnest purpose. You send it a friendly thought. "Hello, little one," and it pauses as if acknowledging your greeting, before continuing on its way with a sort of determined. Eventually, a soft chime rings from a nearby tower, its tone clear and melodious. It's a subtle signal that midday is upon us and that the day will soon meander into the afternoon. You open your eyes fully, feeling as though you've had a refreshing nap even though you never quite slept. The plaza around you stirs softly as others also rise from their restful poses, smiling to one another or stretching languidly. You stand up, giving a final thankful glance at the peaceful garden and fountain. The city's heartbeat, once slowed, is beginning to pick up again in the smallest increments. Atlanteans return to their paths and tasks, rejuvenated by the communal pause. So do you. You carry the plaza's serenity with you as you step back into the sun. The rhythm of the day carries on, steady and gentle, guiding you forward through Atlantis's golden afternoon. As afternoon stretches on, you notice the quality of light beginning to shift. The sun, which had been bright and high, now dips lower, casting a softer glow over Atlantis. There's a collective exhale in the atmosphere, a sense that the day is preparing for its gentle close. Drawn by an urge to see the open horizon, you make your way toward the outskirts of the city, to a place where sky and sea meet in a wide panorama. Your steps lead you to an elevated terrace on the city's western edge. This terrace overlooks the vast ocean beyond Atlantis. It's a favorite spot for many to watch the day turn to night. Only a few others are here at the moment. An old man leaning on a staff of coral, a pair of friends sitting on the ledge with their legs dangling over, and a mother holding her infant child, swaying gently. All are quietly gazing out to the sky as if drawn by the same gentle instinct that brought you here. You find a comfortable spot along the railing and rest your hands on the warm stone. Out before you, the sky has begun its evening artistry. Hues of gold and orange spill across the horizon, melting into pink and lavender higher up. The few wispy clouds that do wander the sky catch fire with color, glowing rose and peach. The ocean reflects the display in rippling ribbons of light, as if a second sky lies beneath the waves. As you watch, the sun sinks lower, touching the water with a path of shimmering gold. The sight is profoundly beautiful, enough to make your chest ache with a sweet, almost nostalgic emotion. Each passing minute seems to paint a new masterpiece in the sky. Flecks of crimson appear, deepening the palette. Purple shades bloom at the highest points of the heavens, heralding the approach of dusk.